The Galaxy Council chamber, an obsidian amphitheater orbiting the star. Mirion was designed to withstand the debates of 1,000 species. Yet even its ancient walls trembled as the alarms blared across the hall. A crimson hologram flickered to life. Unauthorized warships detected. Target: Earth. The Council, comprised of empires spanning 5 arms of the galaxy, fell into stunned silence. Earth was new to the interstellar stage, barely 50 years into starflight. Most species believed humans were harmless, aggressive, yes, unpredictable, yes, but still young. Then the hologram shifted again, showing 2 humans inside a Terran command vessel, Susan Hart, tactical commander, and Evan Cole, xenobiology specialist turned reluctant soldier. The council members murmured nervously. Humans were many things, but cowardly was never one of them. Chapter 1. The first SHOCK, the invaders in ancient empire known as the Valter. Dominion had not appeared in centuries. Their ships were obsidian blades slicing through void, each vessel pulsing with the faint glow of living metal. They've chosen Earth? Chancellor Vetra whispered, her purple skin paling. But why provoke the species that survived the Scorch Age? The species that built engines from scrap during their global collapse? No one could answer. Meanwhile, on the Terran flagship Asterion, Susan stood rigid, staring at the tactical screen. Her amber eyes reflected the red glow of incoming threats. 27 Valter cruisers, she muttered, against our 10 ships. Evan, still wearing his lab jacket beneath his armor, stepped beside her. You know they didn't come for resources, he said quietly. They came because they're afraid. Susan looked at him. Of us? Evan swallowed. Of what humanity becomes when cornered. Chapter 2. Council in Pianice across the galaxy. The Council watched the live broadcast from Terran Command. Ambassador Cordal, a reptilian envoy from the Draconis Spire, slammed his tail. Recall your ships. Earth cannot withstand that onslaught. Humans won't retreat, groaned Elder Uesho from the Terran Combine. They'd rather stand alone than bend. The Council tried sending warnings. Please, even direct orders to Earth, but Terran Command replied with a single sentence. Humanity does not surrender. The chamber shook again as more alarms erupted. The battle had begun. Chapter 3. The first SALVO space ignited. Valter cruisers released. Beams of violet plasma hot enough to liquefy steel. 2 Earth ships evaporated instantly, but the humans did not scatter. They advanced. Susan clenched her fist. Activate the grav-surge cannons. Ivan blinked. Those things aren't even approved. They're ready enough, she said with a dangerous smile. The cannons, experimental weapons using Earth's mastery of gravitational manipulation, unleashed invisible bursts that bent space. Valter cruisers twisted, buckled, and imploded, turning into crumpled spheres of metal. Council members gasped in horror and awe. Did humans just weaponize gravity? One shrieked. No species has ever. Another began, but Susan wasn't done. All ships, form the Valkyrie line, she commanded. Evan glanced at her with admiration. You're insane, and you love it. Chapter 4. The BOARDING. The Valter, enraged, launched a boarding spear that pierced the Asterion's hull. Black armored warriors swarmed through the corridors. Susan drew her pulse saber. Evan grabbed a kinetic rifle he had barely trained with. You stay behind me, Susan ordered. No, Evan said, voice trembling yet firm. Earth needs all of us. Even the nerds. They sprinted down the corridor, fighting side by side. Susan moved like wildfire, precise, lethal, fearless. Evan wasn't graceful, but every shot he fired counted. Deep within the ship, they reached the Valter commander, a towering creature with obsidian armor fused to living flesh. You fight for a dying world, it snarled. Humanity threatens the galaxy. We strike now. Susan stepped forward. You're afraid of what we might become. No, the creature hissed. We fear what you already are. The commander lunged. Susan moved first, her blade flashed. Evan fired. The creature fell. Chapter 5. The turning point. With their leader dead, Valter forces faltered on the bridge. Susan issued the order, push forward. Target their flagship. The humans advanced like a tidal wave, wounded, outnumbered, but unbreakable. Evan patched into the Council's broadcast channel. "This is Evan Cole of Earth. If any species wishes to help, now is the time. But whether you do or not," he glanced at Susan, determination burning in his eyes, "we're not going anywhere." The galaxy listened. For the first time in millennia, they saw humans not as reckless children but as warriors who would tear stars apart to defend their home. Chapter 6. Humanity's HFY Susan executed a maneuver no other species had ever attempted. A blind warp slide directly through the enemy formation. The Asterion vanished, then reappeared behind the Valter fleet, its hull glowing from the near-suicidal warp. "Fire everything," she whispered. The sky turned white. Grav bursts, rail lances, quantum torpedoes. Earth unleashed all of it. Half the enemy fleet disintegrated. Council delegates rose in shock. "Humans are terrifying," Elder Usho said softly. "Terrifying," Chancellor Vetra corrected. "And magnificent." Chapter 7. The final STND. But the Valter flagship was still intact. It charged its planet killer cannon, the beam aimed directly at Earth. "If that fires," Evan said, "millions will die." Susan looked at him, sweat and blood streaking her face. "We won't let it." She set the Asterion on a collision course. Evan's breath caught. "Susan, it's the only way." He took her hand. "Then we crash it together." The Asterion roared toward the enemy flagship, engines burning white-hot. At the last second, Susan triggered the ship's warp core overload. A star exploded. The Valter flagship shattered into fragments, drifting like dying embers. Epilogue. A new Legion. The Council watched in stunned silence as the battlefield cleared. Earth was scarred, its fleet nearly destroyed, but victorious. Susan and Evan survived. Rescued from an escape pod drifting near the wreckage, Ambassador Cordell bowed his head. "The humans saved us all." For the first time, the Council issued a decree. Earth is not to be threatened, provoked, or underestimated. Humanity had earned its place not through diplomacy, not through fear, but through unstoppable will. And as Susan and Evan stood together on the scorched deck of a rescue ship, staring at the blue glow of Earth below, they knew one truth: the galaxy had finally taken humans seriously.